Good day, viewers. Welcome back to the Preaching Humanist with David Oliverio, that is I, where no God is required for a life of love, joy, peace, fulfillment, meaning, and purpose in life. And the good life is guided by reason and motivated by love. Well, here we are, a few days after the 2016 elections. And I, as an atheist, secular humanist, socially progressive liberal, am dealing with the loss we've experienced on Tuesday. I didn't prepare anything today. I've got another episode I want to talk about, but right now I just want to talk and discuss how I feel and what I think we should do as humanists and secularists and atheists the next 2 years. So yes, Tuesday night was, boy, it was tough. A lot of my fellow free-thinking friends experienced the same thing. It was a state of unbelief to me. I could not believe that that many people would vote the way that they did. But it's passed. It happened. Yeah, I was very discouraged. I was upset. Part of me was angry, wanted to cry. It seems like the things that we as a country have been moving toward, progressively leaning toward the left, getting there little by little into human rights and women's rights, equality in different ways, fighting climate change, and all the wonderful things that progressive liberalism and humanism offers. Seems like we've taken 2 or 3 steps forward, and now, bam, we might be taking 3 or 4 steps backward. So I try not to talk about politics much. It's never been my forte. Being a former evangelist and preacher, I just talked about Jesus. But I will touch on it today just a little bit, simply because there is a correlation between social conservatism and the right Christian movement. There's a large meeting ground between the two, and they do feed off each other. So the take I have right now is the way we are headed is not looking too bright at this moment. But does that discourage me? Does that give me a lack of hope? Does that send me into the abyss of depression and anger and bitterness? No. It actually kind of fires me up. I know that we have a lot of work to do, and we must continually stand up against the religious right. Now, my fellow freethinker friends that are watching this, I'm sure most of you will agree with me that the Christian right's agenda is to create a theocracy. Not all of them, but there are many of those people. They mean well, but they actually believe that Christian principles, biblical principles, will make our country healthier in all aspects. There are many people that will be into this new cabinet, in the Trump cabinet, that do believe in biblical principles. Most of us know our country was founded upon secular constitution, no mention of God, Bible, Jesus, or religion in the Constitution. The Constitution was set up for equality for all and equal rights and freedom of speech. So yeah, we've got some work to do. I am concerned about climate change, the overwhelming evidence that it does occur, and a lot of it happens and because of man-made reasons. I understand that. That's what pure science says. And I'm afraid that we might lose that battle as well. So this is a time that those of us that are more progressive liberal, those of us that are free thinkers, should not hide under a rock now. But we should begin to rise up, and we should begin to speak out and exercise free speech. I personally, for myself, that actually fires me up even more to fight against the religious right. Not against the people, but against the belief system that they have, which is our country should be a Christian country. should be a conservative country only. And again, I've said this before, the actual definition of conservatism is opposition to change, resistance to change, holding to existing views, where progressivism is advancing and moving ahead. And that's what the human species has done now for thousands of years. We're advancing and moving ahead. The more we use science as that arbiter of truth, we distinguish truths from falsity using the human enlightened mind, not religion. So I just want to encourage those of you fellow progressive liberals and those of you that have found that there's no evidence for any gods and you're either an agnostic, a secularist, a humanist, or an atheist. I believe it's time for us to rise up and to fight for our rights. I'm sure the Christian right and the conservative movement 8 years ago may have felt the same thing when Obama won 8 years ago. So we must stand up and do what we can. For that takes the midterm elections coming up in 2 years to get people in there that are rational rather than people that take our morality and our society based upon a primitive book called the Bible or any other religion. So I want to encourage us to get out there, talk, speak, support people, give donations to those that are out there doing the work. So yeah, we have a lot of work to do. So let's just understand that it's not over. We may take a few steps backwards, but I'm hopeful. I've always been an optimist. When I was a Christian evangelist 35 years ago, I always remained optimistic about my message, which I thought was true. And now as a realist, someone that has seen the light of reason and come out of religion many, many years ago, I'm still an optimist. I still believe that we can stand up and go back to bringing this country toward egalitarian ways, more liberal progressivism, and leaning more toward humanity and believing that there is goodness in humanity and we don't have to be saved from a God. So that's pretty much my take. I'm still getting over the shock of Tuesday night. And it's hard for me to believe that many people voted that way, but it is what it is. So let's deal with it. Let's progress. Let's move on. Let's roll up our sleeves and let's work together for a better America and a better world. So thank you for watching the Preaching Humanist with David Oliverio. Have a wonderful day.